Well, hello friends, Coach Bob with you today, and today we're going to talk about save yourself. Oh man, I got a couple of stories I'm going to share to get you motivated and inspired. Something that if you are capable of going out and riding due to the beautiful weather in your area, that you can get out and ride. And yet something to offer you if you're a rider and you're trapped in that snowy, inclement mess to where you can't ride, that might inspire you to be even more prepared to ride. So today is about motivation, getting you fired up and ready to ride, or being able to go for a ride. But before we get started and all that, if you would do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, give this video a big old fat thumbs up. Yeah, I said it. Give it a fat thumbs up. Regular thumbs up ain't quite good enough. All right. Oh, look at that little doggy. Look out, little doggy. Don't want to get run over. All right, so let's get started with two little stories I want to share with you, and then we'll top it off with a third one. It's going to be a good ride, so make sure you got you a nice good hot cup of coffee so you can enjoy all of it. You might even want to grab your wife, let her hang out with you. Be good, a little snuggle time. But so story number one, years ago I was riding with a good buddy of mine. In fact, you see him on the channel, Killer Kenny. He is the guy that rides the Triumph Tigers with me. Well, we were training for the Ironman, and we were in the middle of like a 5 or 6 hour bike ride. It was crazy. It was wet. It was dark. It had been raining. It was one of those dreary days, but it was fun because you were with someone that you care about, and it was an awesome ride. And we were in a park down towards St. Mark's Lighthouse, and where we would ride the bikes in the park and turn around and come back and then head back up north towards Tallahassee. Well, there was a big rock in the middle of the road. We're riding along talking. He saw the rock and he's like, there's no way any idiot would hit that rock. But he was wrong, because he was riding with me and this idiot somehow missed the rock. I didn't see it. I don't know if my glasses were fogged up from the rain or the heat or whatever, the heat of my body and the cold of the temperature and the rain and all that stuff, but somehow I missed this rock. It was pretty good size. Anyway, when I hit it, I saw it at the very last second. I pulled the weight up off my front tire to get over the top of it, tried to kick the rear tire around, but the back tire hit the rock and it punctured the tire. Well, as soon as it did, the ground was wet, so with a metal rim on a wet pavement, I was going down, and the bike just started sliding. The back end kicked out this way. Well, in typical bicycle riding fashion, we were close, very close proximity. And so as I was falling towards him, my arms in the air getting ready to, catch the ground, I yell, "Save yourself!" And I landed, I hit the back tire of his bicycle, throwing him off into the grass and over into a ditch with rocks and thorns and Spanish bayonet plants and all that stuff. And he was all scratched up. I had road rash for days where I'd slid down the pavement. And when we got up, the only things we were worried about were each other. Are you okay, man? Are you okay? It was just it was an accident. We didn't intend on it to happen. It was an accident. But the idea, that became a joke for us that day, to save yourself. And as time has gone by, we've had the conversation about the save yourself incident, what it means to save yourself, and can it be done? So now I'm going to share another story. It's an older story. All these are going to tie together. You got to hang with me now. Listen in. Now you got to learn. You got to grow. 30 plus years ago, a friend of mine named Todd got in a bicycle accident and he broke his neck. Now when he fell, he was in the middle of the pack and he broke his neck and was airlifted to the hospital. 2 days later, surgery on his spine, and they had fused a couple of vertebrae at the C level, which is your neck. They had fused those things with a piece of bone out of his hip. And he called a couple of friends. He goes, "Hey man, I want you to bring the indoor trainer and I want you to bring a bicycle up to the hospital." And everyone thought he was crazy. They're like, "Man, you're a psycho." So they bring it up there. He still has an IV in his arm. He's post-surgical a couple of days. He's out of ICU, and he gets his bike. He sets it up. He ain't supposed to even be up. And they get the bike on the indoor trainer. He goes, put me on my bike. He gets on the bike, and he starts spinning. And everyone's like, you're crazy, Todd. Man, what are you doing? And he goes, man, it's my fault that I broke my neck because I was slow. I was in the middle of the pack where all of the weaker riders are. Had I been in the front where I'm supposed to be, I would have never gotten injured. I've got to fix that. You know, and from that day forward, I never knew him to be anywhere than up front. He was always up front. Now, these things that happen to us in life, that is a picture of saving yourself. You know, he could have just quit. He could have just said, you know what, I'm done. I'm not doing it anymore. And I just can't do it. It's not worth the risk. The risk versus reward is just not there. But he didn't choose to do that. He chose to ride and to pursue excellence. And that separated him from virtually everyone he rode with from that day forward. He had always been an exceptional swimmer, but now he was an exceptional bike rider, and he became an exceptional runner. You know, the guy was a beast. He was a total beast. So how does that apply to you? How does me screaming save yourself and knocking my friend down and Todd getting in a bicycle wreck and breaking his neck apply to you as a motorcycle rider? Well, you know, we want to ride safely. There are a lot of times we go, man, it's not worth it. You know, it's too cold, it's too hot, it's too this, it's too that. And there are times, obviously, for you snowbirds up there are times it's too cold. Your motorcycle, 2 or 3 wheeler, whether it be the CanAm Spyder or a Harley or whatever it is you're riding, those things go into storage up there for you guys, and you can't ride. So what can you do off year? Well, you can save yourself. You can save yourself. And what that would look like off season, that would mean, what can I do to be a better rider off season? What can I do to enjoy my ride more, to be a more safe rider, so that when I'm riding with that valuable commodity on the back, whether it's a spouse or a sibling or a child or a grandchild, how can I do that in a more effective and safe way? And I can tell you, if you're carrying an extra 10, 20, 30 plus pounds, use the winter time. Use it. I understand we're in the holiday season right now. It's very, very hard for all of us to drop those unwanted pounds over the holidays. But it can be done. It can be done. You know, I'm not saying don't even eat frivolously and stupid when you're at your parties with your friends and your family. But the other 6 days a week, you can eat wisely. You can make good decisions. You can, you know, if you have a hard time doing push-ups, we'll learn to do push-ups. If you buy a little chin-up bar for the inside of your house, you don't have to have a gym membership. Try to learn to do some pull-ups and chin-ups. Do some push-ups and sit-ups and crunches and jumping jacks and things like that. Eat right. The thing is, you get fit at the gym, you get fat at the table. So if you push away from the table and you just simply do some mild calisthenics, you will be amazed at the progress that you are going to make. And when your riding season approaches, you will learn that it's better. And then when something happens bad, if it ever does, you can say, man, I did everything I could to save myself. You know, this doesn't just apply in the motorcycle realm. This applies overall to your just general health. You know, I could die of a heart attack tomorrow, but I would at least like to know that I did everything that I could, you know, to live as long as I could, to set the example that I'm supposed to for my children, my grandchildren, my friends, the kids that I coach, and that sort of stuff. It's important. This stuff's important. But I had another lightning bolt flash, though, 2 weeks ago that told me, save yourself. And Ken and I sat down and had a big conversation about it. And here's what happened. I was riding my Triumph Tiger, and you know, I haven't made a video for the last couple of weeks. And the reason is well, you'll say I took a little spill on the old Tiger. It wasn't anything brutal. And I'm sure that 20 years ago and 15 pounds ago, I probably wouldn't have even gotten hurt. But I was riding through a few ditches and doing stuff and climbing hills and going through holes and that sort of stuff. And Basically, we're in a ditch, and popping out the other side of it, we're riding along the channel of the ditch, and there's a big giant hole that we have to pop out of the ditch. And as I went to pop out, there was a lot of straw in the grass right there where I was coming up. And the back tire slid, of course, and I felt it. I wasn't panicked. I felt like, you know, I'm going to be fine. But what happened, there was also a patch of dirt. And when the tire hit that dirt, it grabbed it, threw me over. It was a mild high side, I'll call it. But being I was on a ditch, I was probably 5 or 6 feet in the air because it threw me in the direction of the ditch. So as I landed, my right leg was straight, my left leg was bent, and I felt my hamstring on my right leg go snappity snap snap in 3 places, and it wasn't pleasant. It was like pop pop pop. I wasn't sure if I was audibly hearing it or if I was just hearing it from the inside of my body as things were going, you know, snap, crackle, and pop. You know, it's crazy. So we have helmet communicators on. I tell Ken, I go, hey man, I'm down, I'm hurt. The tiger's upside down, and I'm laying here, but I'm okay, but I'm hurt, but I'm going to be okay. It's not a big deal. Just be careful as you come back and approach me. Don't run over me. So we get the bike out of the ditch. No real damage to the bike. No real damage to me other than the fact that, you know, I'm a little bit strained and all that stuff. But we had a conversation about what save me means to us now. You know, it meant something different back then. When we're on the ride, we know that off of the ride, the save me is to literally take care of yourself. We've defined that for multiple years. That's how you save yourself. You save yourself by doing everything you can to take care of yourself physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. You're constantly growing, you're constantly working out, you're constantly stretching the you that you are. So what does it mean when we're riding and we go, save yourself? Well, as a 60-year-old man, things change, things are different. So when we see an obstacle now, we've decided by saving ourselves is swallowing our pride. Yep, gentlemen, ladies, you heard it first here. Swallow your pride. It will save you a lot of pain in the long run. You know, call your buddy and go, hey, I'm in a position that, you know, I'm not totally confident that this is a good position to be in. I'm going to wait here for you or come back and help me. And whether that's just pushing a motorcycle out of you know, some sort of calamity that you've found yourself in, or up a hill that you're uncomfortable climbing, or going around something and jumping out of the other side of it, those things you have to slow down and go, hey man, I need your help. I need your help. And as your skill grows, you'll need less help. But for those areas like that, now how does that apply on the road, out here, on the Spyder, or on a two-wheeler? How does that apply here? Well, save yourself by knowing your limitations. You know, if you're in a position where you go, man, this is too much, the weather's too much, save yourself, pull over. If you're too tired, save yourself, pull over. If you're tempted to make that long ride with no gear, save yourself, put it on. You know, make the wise decision. You know, one thing that I have taught many people, and I still struggle with myself at times, and we all do, we all will, as long as we have a breath in this old wrinkly leathery body, is to exercise integrity at the moment of choice. You know, we all did the study of Pavlov's dog, you know, you know, you ring the bell and you give the dog food, you ring the bell, you give the dog food, and eventually you ring the bell and the dog drools even though there's no food there. It's stimulus response. Well, you know, we're not that way. We're not dogs, we're not animals, we're people. And we were designed a lot differently. You know, God put some really cool stuff in us so that when the bell rings, we can think about what we do before we do it. It's purely not stimulus response. And those who want to say that life is that, well, you're selling yourself way too short. You don't have to eat the donut. You don't have to sleep till 10 in the morning. You can get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and go for a walk. You can put the donut away and eat, you know, a power bar. You can have a cup of decaf coffee as opposed to caffeinated. You know, you can drink more water. You can do a few push-ups. If you can only do one, do a half a push-up. Start in the up position and put a pillow under you and then fall down to the floor without hurting yourself until you can do one push-up. And then celebrate the 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 20 and the 50 and the 100. Because I can tell you, if you work hard over a winter time, you can lose 50 pounds and do 100 push-ups. You can. It can be done. It's not impossible. Save yourself. Save yourself. Get ready to make those decisions. Ask your friends for help. Ask people for help. Reach out to other riders in the community to do it with you. You know, and don't be ashamed when you're riding with someone and it's too much and they're going too fast, or it's too cold or too wet or too hot or too whatever, and you're like, this is beyond me. I can't do it safely. Save yourself. Step back, relax, and just enjoy the moment. You know, there's a lot to be said for just living in the moment right now, not what's happening in 60 seconds, what's happening right now. I mean, it is really quite wonderful and astounding what the moment has to offer. I'm going to stop here. I'm just going to slow down. I got nothing behind me. You know, look at that. That's just absolutely beautiful. Look at the little carriage. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? You know, these simple things that we have around us all the time, we need to stop. Slow down. Slow down, especially during the holiday season. Open the door for someone. Give someone a kind word, a pat on the back. Call someone you haven't spoken to in years. Lift them up. Love on them. You know, by loving on others, you just may save yourself. It works in every area of our life. Exercise integrity at the moment of choice, whether it be the safety of your body, the security of your family, the love of friends, the loyalty of friends, and the beauty and sweetness of God. Save yourself. Well, there's my thoughts today, and how could it get any sweeter than this, man? Will you just look at this? Is this insane? How could it be so beautiful? People ask me if I ever get tired of riding these roads. I'm going to tell you, I ride them almost every single day, and I love it. I see the beauty every single day that I'm out here. It is wonderful. All right, well, I'm going to put in a few more miles, but I want you to do me a favor until next time. You, yes you, go out by the motorcycle of your dreams, eat right, take care of yourself, and remember, if you're not having fun, you are doing it wrong, because if you're not having fun, you ain't saving yourself, you're just making a mess. Now you go seize the day, and I'll see you on the road real soon.